Hello, today I thought I would begin a series where I'm going to highlight some perennials that are my favorite. You know, when customers come into the nursery, when they see perennials, they often are unimpressed because most of the time they're just green. They're not like annuals when you go in there and there's just a burst of color immediately. Perennials are understated when they're in the pots. And so I've been working on building a perennial garden to the side of the nursery so that customers can see how they look when they're a little more established. This one right here is in the salvia family. It's called autumn sage. This is purple. It also comes in red, hot pink, and white. And like right now, there are some little buds up here, but you don't really see the color. So it gets bypassed sometimes. And so it is incredible the first year, after the first year, and even better the second year. Perennials, you know, some bloom only in spring, some bloom just in the summer, but some will bloom starting in the spring all the way through the entire summer. And they are much easier to take care of in the summer, especially that second year, because the roots are much deeper than annuals. So once they tap into that groundwater, you don't have to take care of them as much. They are much more self-sufficient because the root systems are much deeper, which is the benefit to perennials. And it also comes back every year. So, but you know, annuals are gorgeous. It gives you an instant pop of color, but you have to water them very frequently because their root systems are very shallow. So this one is autumn sage. It's in the salvia family. So I want to show you what it looks like after the first year, and then I want to show you a plant that looks like after the second year. Now, what I'm going to show you is white and hot pink. This one's purple. I've planted a purple too, so next year I'll have it as an example. But let's see what they look like after they've been planted into the ground. All right, this is the white autumn sage. This was planted last spring. So that little pot has turned into this big white plant in 1 year. It started blooming a few weeks ago. It will continue to bloom through most of the summer, and I have not watered this one time. You know, in the spring it rains a lot, but so it's doing great without my watering assistance. But last summer when I planted these, it was very minimal water. I did not water every day. I watered about once a week. I watered deep, but because these have so much roots, the root systems are much deeper, they just thrive. There's no watering system on this. It just looks this great all by itself. And this is after 1 year. So it has more than quadrupled in size. Now, let me show you one after year 2. And this is the plant after year 2. This is planted in the ground, minimal water. It comes back each year. I did not trim this one. I'm just letting it go because it's so incredible. If you don't want it to get this size, you can always cut it back after it stops blooming in the fall, and then it will, you know, be a more manageable size depending on your space. The space that I have here is meant to be just kind of a cottage wild garden, and so I really don't care about the space, but it is gigantic. And on the tag, it does not say that it gets this size. So I've just been shocked at how well it did. I only watered once a week all last summer, and it grew this much in 2 years. And so this is a must-have, I think, in your garden, especially if you have an area that you want something to get pretty big. If not, trim it back and keep it at a more manageable size. But autumn sage salvia is one of my favorites. I'm adding the other 2 colors this year so that I have all 4 colors available in our perennial garden. It's gorgeous. I think that everyone should have some of this in their yard. I hope you've enjoyed the first video of how it looks before and how it looks once it's established, and watch for more options of different perennials that we have available, and like us for more gardening tips.